Greetings, this is KYC News. I respectfully request that you stay with me. Off the coast of Cyprus, the British Army loses their sixth drone. In the Sea of Japan, a Chinese destroyer is conducting long-range exercises. Beijing. Leaders from Germany, France, and Italy have arrived in Kiev to show their support for the Ukrainian people. Russia summons Israel's envoy in response to airstrikes on Damascus airport. After Deputy Foreign Minister Mikhail Bogdanov met with Alexander Ben-Zvi on Wednesday, the Russian Foreign Ministry issued a statement announcing the summons. According to Press TV, the ministry expressed grave worry over the June 10 Zionist Air Force strike on Damascus civilian airport. The runway, navigation equipment, and buildings were all destroyed, according to the statement, and international civilian air traffic was disrupted. The ambassador was advised that the Israeli side's reason for the strike was unsatisfactory and that Moscow expected more clarity, the ministry claimed. The official Syrian Arab news agency, Sana, reported the bombings, citing a military source as claiming that Zionist jets fired numerous missiles at targets south of Damascus from Syria's Tel Aviv-occupied Golan Heights. Last week, Maria Zakharova, a spokeswoman for the Russian Foreign Ministry, said at a press conference that Russia strongly opposed the Israeli attack on Syria. She said that these attacks are unacceptable to Russia, according to the Arabic-language website Russia Today, and that Moscow wants the Israeli Authority to cease them. In the early hours of Wednesday morning, the Zionist regime targeted the areas around Damascus again, killing 4 Syrian soldiers and wounded 3 others, despite Syrian air defense intercepting the raids. Off the coast of Cyprus, the British Army loses their 6th drone. A £30 million British Army drone has crashed into the sea off the coast of Cyprus due to issues flying in bad weather. On May 29, it fell into the sea while being flown from RAF Akrotiri in Limassol during a regular training mission. The Watchkeeper was initially deployed to Afghanistan in 2014. A high-tech platform, however, has crashed at least 7 times, with 2 lost off the coast of Wales and others sinking while landing. During a test flight to see how the UAV would handle ice conditions, 1 was lost. The airborne surveillance platform has been plagued by issues, with a budget that has risen from £800 million to almost £1.4 billion. The system can be deployed in 2 hours, according to the vendor, Thales. A portion of the fleet has been utilized to keep an eye on migrants attempting to cross the English Channel. Marc Francois, a conservative backbencher, was outraged by the recent plane crash. "The mod must get a grip," he told The Sun. "This system has been plagued by issues since it was put into service years ago. Yet, on a near-daily basis, we see other drones performing admirably in Ukraine." The unmanned aircraft is equipped with a variety of sensors, including an electro-optic and infrared full-motion video day and night camera, synthetic aperture radar, and a moving target indicator radar, according to the Ministry of Defense. When the drone failed to land in bad weather circumstances in a previous mishap, the operators turned off the auto-land feature. This also disabled a number of safety features, causing the half-ton surveillance platform to crash. According to several disaster accounts, all-weather aircraft can easily become befuddled in fog, rain, snow, and strong winds. In the Sea of Japan, a Chinese destroyer is conducting long-range exercises. Beijing. According to official media, one of China's largest and most capable combat ships is conducting long-distance operations in the Sea of Japan, demonstrating the country's growing naval reach. The operation was the first for the Type 055 destroyer Lhasa since its commissioning last year, according to the Communist Party tabloid Global Times. The Luoyang-class Type 052D destroyer Chengdu and the Type 903 oiler Dongpinghu are accompanying it, according to the publication, citing Japan's defense ministry. The Sea of Japan runs between the Japanese archipelago, Sakhalin Island, the Korean peninsula, and the Russian Far East Peninsula to the north of China. The 3 ships were detected on Sunday around 200 kilometers, 120 miles, west of Fuku Island in Nagasaki, heading east into the Sea of Japan, according to Japan's defense ministry. It also claimed to have seen a Dongdio-class intelligence ship patrolling near the Tsushima Strait on Sunday, before it went into the Sea of Japan. China's navy has been building ships at a breakneck speed, and it currently possesses the world's largest naval force in terms of hull count. The Type 055, also known as the Nanchang class, has a stealthy design and is equipped with air defense missiles, anti-ship and anti-land cruise missiles, as well as torpedoes. China is thought to have commissioned 5 Type 055 destroyers out of a planned initial batch. The Type 055 is classified as a Renhai-class cruiser by the U.S. military, and it serves as a carrier escort in part. China now has 2 aircraft carriers, with the launch of a third expected soon. The destroyer, according to military experts, is part of China's military buildup intended at discouraging foreign intervention in the case of an attack on Taiwan, which China claims as its own and threatens to seize by force. The United States, which provides Taiwan with defensive armaments and is constitutionally compelled to treat threats to the island as matters of grave concern, would very definitely be drawn into such a confrontation, as would its treaty allies, the most significant and geographically nearest being Japan. Leaders from Germany, France, and Italy have arrived in Kyiv to show their support for the Ukrainian people. On Thursday, French President Emmanuel Macron, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, and Italian Prime Minister Mario Draghi gathered in Kyiv on a joint mission to show their support for Ukraine as it fights back against Russian aggression. The three spent the night in Ukraine on a train that transports high-profile tourists. It's a critical juncture. We're sending a message of solidarity and support to the Ukrainian people, encouraging them to talk about the present and the future, because the coming weeks, as we all know, will be extremely challenging as they approached, Macron remarked. President Klaus Iohannis of Romania will join them for meetings with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who is expected to discuss Kyiv's desire to join the EU as well as the war itself. The three men are hoping to overcome criticism in Ukraine over their approach to the war with this visit, which has taken weeks to plan. We're here, we're focused, and will accompany President Zelensky to a conflict zone where killings have taken place, Macron said. When asked why the visit is taking place now, an Élysée official said it was decided that it would be best to do so immediately before an EU summit next week, where Kyiv's ambition to join the 27-nation group will be discussed. On Friday, the European Commission is expected to offer a recommendation on Ukraine's position as an EU candidate, which has been regarded with skepticism by the major European nations. A balance must be struck between Ukraine's natural aspirations to join the EU at a unique time, and attention to all of the countries that already have candidate status and are stuck in the negotiation chapters, as well as the fact that we must not destabilize or fracture the EU, the Élysée official said. Iraq's al-Sadr has stated that he will not participate in the political process if it is with the corrupt. Muqtada al-Sadr, Iraq's influential Shiite cleric, has ruled out further participation in the country's political process unless it is cleansed of the corrupt, days after his followers in parliament resigned en masse. As the standoff over building a post-election government neared its 8th month, Mr. al-Sadr asked members of parliament linked with his organization to submit their resignations. He told MPs assembled in the southern city of Najaf, where he lives, on Wednesday that he was withdrawing from the political process. Mr. al-Sadr is one of Iraq's most influential figures, with a large national following, and his decision has cast uncertainty on the democratic process. He addressed legislators gathered in rows on the ground in a Najaf hall. I decided to retire from the political process in order not to cooperate in any manner with the corrupt, neither in this world nor in the afterlife. What I want to tell you is that I will not participate in the upcoming elections with the crooked in the next stage. He stated that he would vote only if the corrupt and those who have stolen Iraq were removed. Despite his adherents, known as the Sadrists, making a strong showing in October's general election when they gained 73 members in the 329-seat parliament, Mr. al-Sadr's efforts to establish the next administration failed. His desire to build a majority administration with only Sunni and Kurdish parties infuriated his opponents in the coordination framework, an umbrella group of Iran-backed militias and parties that suffered significant electoral losses. The Iran-backed organizations want Mr. al-Sadr to join them in forming a larger Shiite bloc to negotiate the creation of the cabinet and the division of positions along sectarian lines. Iraqi Parliament Speaker Mohammed al-Halbussi revealed Mr. al-Sadr's decision to join the opposition shortly after receiving the resignations on Sunday. He ruled out new elections for the time being, indicating that other parties will continue to try to build a government. An MP who resigns will be replaced by the candidate who received the next highest number of votes in that constituency, according to election law. Iraq's Independent High Election Commission said it had not received a letter from Parliament to begin the process, which had gone on a month-long summer recess in late May. Thank you for your time and consideration. Please join our channel as a subscriber.